We don't want that.
Times in a row now
Is this going?
That was a throwback.
That's always a little screw up lately, but at the start of these things.
Hey, it's been like 3 weeks, a month since we've done these live streams, so bear with me. Hello everybody, welcome back to ThrillGeek This week. Apologies for the multiple, as I just mentioned, week hiatus. I got sick.
You're a little hot, by the way.
Yeah, you're screaming. I like the chaos, but...
How have you been, Emily?
I'm great.
Is that better?
Yes, we
Okay.
We took a little break because there really wasn't much to talk about.
Yeah, and
now all of a sudden there's a lot to talk about.
That and I was sick as a dog for like a week and a half there. I was sick, and then I had this cough that wouldn't go away, and I didn't want to be doing a live stream and be hacking and coughing all over the place. So.
And then I think I was out of town.
Let me bring up the comments.
Yes, the real answer is Clint has been too busy playing Diablo 4. So.
This is the truth. This is the truth.
Away.
Oh my God. See this?
That's dust.
No,
it is.
Hair. It is Siberian husky hair. Oh my God!
I'm shocked that you got a dog that sheds everywhere, and you found.
He's a vagal boy.
He's doing his like shedding thing right now, and oh my God!
Because it's hot.
Yeah,
and he's a husky.
Like, screw this! I am going naked.
You can take him to the groomer. They do like de-shedding stuff.
Yeah, I know they do like the blowout thing where they literally take like a blower to him and they like.
Well, they do like a deep like coat brush thing to hopefully get most of that.
Well, it's
out.
like when we were looking for a new doxy, and then we eventually settled on Kiko, but we saw some long-haired doxies, and like literally fur was just coming off them onto us, and I was like, yeah they're pretty, but no.
And then I had a short-haired dog who shed.
Yeah.
Let me bring up the comments here, see who we got. Sam, what's going on? Yeah, Clint says. Yeah, Sam says Clint has been too busy playing Diablo 4. Like true. I said that week, I was sick. I was like, I got a cough. I can't play. I can't do the live stream. But yeah, no, I'm not lying. I have been religiously playing Diablo 4, and it's been a blast. So we still need to play together, Sam. I have you added, but it's like I want to get through the campaign, and I want to play with all my friends, but everybody's doing their own thing.
He's too good for you, Sam.
Yeah, I'm just,
That's basically what he's saying.
I am. No, like I want to play with all my friends, but it's like I get going on like a campaign, like part of the campaign, and
won't stop.
Yeah, it's like everybody starts doing their own thing, and some of my friends are already like level 60 and 70, and I'm like level 40 on my necromancer, and it's like,
aww.
So, but anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. Been sick, playing Diablo 4. I think that's about it. Oh yeah, I went and saw. I know I probably should say this for later, but I'll talk about it now. I went and saw Jurassic Park with the family at City Walk, which was an absolute blast.
Were there dinosaurs?
There were dinosaurs.
Oh my God!
And they got loose in Jurassic Park.
There's
believe it or not.
Dinosaur. There's
Freaking dinosaur. When they walk, the ground goes boom. Oh, I know all the Bill and Ted songs still.
But let me tell you, seeing that movie on the big screen again was pretty surreal. It was like that movie was my childhood. 9. What? I was 9.
93.
9-year-old me in the movie theater watching that. I remember very few movies in the movie theater from my childhood, and Jurassic Park and Aladdin are the two that for some reason stuck with me over the years, and I can remember
the best 2 movies.
Yeah, and I can remember both of those vividly as seeing him in the movie theater. And I look over at Cheryl. We bought all 3 kids and my mother-in-law. I look over at Cheryl, and literally the part from the beginning when they're on the helicopter to the island, up to the Brachiosaurus part, Cheryl's just like crying because it's like, that's her movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget it because I feel like it was one of the first movies that had like a special Thursday night screen. All I know is I was at the first screening. It was the first theater. It was the first movie that ever had digital sound, DTS.
Yeah.
And the movie theater I was at, they literally got everything in. They didn't even have a chance to test run it before it. So it was so loud when the T-Rex like walked, you felt the seats in the theater were
The
shaking.
entire theater shaking.
That.
Like eventually found out because a
First
friend of mine
40X.
worked there. Like they blew out 3 speakers that night because it was so
Holy
loud.
crap.
But yeah, it was an experience seeing that movie. And
And what was really funny is watching it again in the theater. Now that I'm an adult, and Cheryl and I were talking about this, I saw a lot of technical issues with the movie, like camera focusing issues,
yeah,
and like just things like that, like more technical glitches in the movie, like the part towards the end when Hammond's eating the ice cream and they show all the merchandise. There's like a panning shot of the merchandise. It shows like the Jurassic Park lunch boxes and the plush, and the camera goes like crazy with the focus. Like you could tell they were using autofocus.
oh yeah, no, it was a different time back then.
Yeah.
It's everything was done by hand. I mean,
Yep.
they still focus. There's still focus pullers now, but it's definitely something different now.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's cool that they got to experience that, and it's amazing how well here we are 30 years later, that movie still holds up.
Yeah, even with those few little technical things that I noticed, the movie it's unbelievable that 30 years later that movie holds up as good as it does. I mean, yeah, you can see the CG a little bit. For me, it was really the Brachiosaurus at the beginning. That I think out of all the CG in the Jurassic Park movie, I think the Brachiosaurus at the beginning, when it stands up, and it munches on the tree and it crashes down, I think that scene has aged the worst. And then the shot right after that, when they show the what's the like iguanodon ones with the big things on their head, when they show them like walking out of the water and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're iguanas, Clint.
Well, iguanodons or
No,
whatever they're
just
called.
Iguanas.
That scene, it was funny because Connor went back and watched it on. Excuse me, Connor came back and watched it on the TV yesterday, and I think that scene was supposed to look like, when it's hot out and it's got like the wavy, lines. I think that's what they were going for, but it doesn't translate well now on a big screen because you could see the CG is really,
it's
really
just,
bad.
We had never seen anything like that back
Yeah.
then. And I mean, on top of that, the animatronic T-Rex, which had to be bolted to the soundstage floor, that when it was on, sometimes it would just move on its own.
I love that.
I saw somewhere saying that they actually, before they turned the T-Rex on, they had to sound an alarm because it would move and it could possibly literally kill somebody.
It could literally kill somebody
from it just moving, which was insane. Because I've watched so many behind the scenes things with the T-Rex, and I remember one thing it got wet, so they'd had to beat it down with towels, and it would start like shaking.
Same.
From the water getting inside the internals of the animatronic and stuff, but anyways,
in the latex,
it would get under the skin and everything. But no, it was fantastic to see it in the theater again. Let alone with my own children 30 years later. It was a really cool experience. And then of course I had John Hammond out, Sierra. The kids got to see the baby raptor, and I don't think Cheryl had seen Sierra yet too. So Cheryl got to
literally
see
the cutest thing in the whole wide world.
Sierra, and they had the Jeep out there and the Ford Explorer, and they had a Jeep over by the lighthouse, and apparently they had another Jeep over by the
City Work.
or
not City Works. Wow.
over by
That's so wrong.
NBC, I
Yes,
think.
thank
Yeah.
you. Same
Real-
difference. Same
yeah.
bar with beer.
So, anyways, that was my weekend, seeing Jurassic Park with the kids and mother-in-law. And then, like I said on Twitter, it was mother-in-law's first time at Antojitos, and she's very how do I put this? She's very particular about her Mexican food. So
As she should be.
if she was, I was hoping she'd be impressed with Antojitos, and she was. She was very impressed. She said the way that I forgot the thing that she ate. I can't remember what it was, but she said the way that they did it, like the way they layered it or something. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to ask Cheryl.
It's not for it's they're definitely not too bad, and the table side guac there is really really good.
Yeah. So she loved it. She had no complaints. She liked the margaritas. She liked the food, and she enjoyed everything. So, all right, let's get into the news here. Let me get it up on the screen here.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, what a weird day it was, right? Halloween Horror
Basically, pick
Nights,
your fighter.
Christmas
like more?
announcements.
Choose your fighter.
It was a
I know
good
which
day
fighter we choose.
It was a good day for all of the for whether you're a Christmas fanatic or whether you're a horror fanatic like us. Disney World announced, Disney's been kind of doing this halfway to the holidays thing all week. They announced Disneyland, some new details. They announced Disney Cruise Line details. But today was the big Disney World day, which is what we're going to kind of focus on here in the stream. We got a new party coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios called Disney Jollywood Nights. It's going to be only running 10 select nights, November 11th through December 20th. And the event will take place from 8:30 p.m. To 12:30 a.m. And there'll be all sorts of different activities. This one was probably the most exciting thing for me. Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy will be hosting an all-new stage show at Theater of the Stars, and it'll feature special appearances by guest stars Tiana, Belle, Minnie Mouse, and Mickey Mouse. So that sounds pretty fun. And then there will be a jazz lounge at the Hollywood Brown and Derby, and other worldly soiree at the Hollywood Tower Hotel Courtyard. And I believe they're doing a media event now. And they announced some new details. Let me actually see if I can get it up here really quick while you guys.
I mean, if anyone follows me on Twitter, they probably saw me rant about this thing today. But
yeah, I saw you ranting and raving about being more Christmas stuff being put behind a paywall.
Yeah, I mean,
we already have for it.
We've already lost so many things here when it comes to holidays at Walt Disney World. That okay, we got something new. Oh, but you got to pay extra for it. Oh, it's featuring something that you used to get for free with your park admission.
Ashley Carter, our good friend Ashley, she's there at the media event. They announced a Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along that's coming to Hyperion Theater for the Jollywood Nights, and also the Tip Top Club will be recreated in the Hollywood. This sounds really cool.
I want to go so bad.
The Tip Top Club will be recreated in the Hollywood Tower Hotel Courtyard during Disney Jollywood Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So that sounds really cool, which I'm guessing that's what this is, the Jazz Lounge thing.
Yeah, well, the Jazz Lounge will be at the Brown Derby.
Yeah.
The other thing will be, and they mentioned like something like that it's not everyone may get to experience that or something. It was really
pay extra, but maybe you can't do it.
It was really sort of like vague about kind of two limited capacity entertainment experiences. I guess Jingle Bell Jingle Bam comes back, but now you got to pay to watch it.
Yeah, that's no longer going to be part of regular nighttime.
I will say my knocks on this are that my knocks are also for the price that you're paying for this. There's apparently no complimentary snacks or anything, which with Mickey's Very Merry Christmas, you do get cookies and hot cocoa and other drinks for free. So that's a little bit of a
Yeah, it says
$10 off for AP and DVC for every night, so that's a little bit of a better of a chance of a discount than you get for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Obviously, the Muppets thing is probably the most exciting thing out of this thing that's been announced. There will be a DJ. There will be some live bands. So I feel like this is being tagged as more of an adult type of Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Almost sort of like hey, come dressed up and
have some drinks.
Have some drinks, hang out, see some shows.
This is really interesting. They're going to be using virtual queue for Rise of the Resistance, which I didn't quite understand. Like, if this is going to be a hard ticket event.
Money.
Well, aren't they using? I think they're using what virtual.
What does money
queue
have
for,
to do with virtual queue?
For Tron, for the parties, Christmas party and the Halloween party. It's sort of like, I understand why, but then it's like you're paying extra for this event. It's like, if you want to go ride, I think it's to keep someone from riding Rise of the Resistance as many times as they want, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, is Rise of the Resistance really going to be at the top of your list to do all instead of doing all this Christmas stuff? Like,
oh no, I mean,
some people treat it like that. That's the same thing they do with like Horror Nights. Like, I'll get a ticket, but I go on all the rides for lower weight.
I mean, I feel like now with the Halloween parties, Christmas parties, this party, if you're paying to go ride rides, I don't know what you're.
That's my point.
Paying for you're paying to. I mean, if I'm paying to do all the shows and everything. And
if I'm going to this, I'm doing all the Christmas stuff. Like, I'm not. Rise of the Resistance is going to be at the bottom of my list. Like, if I have a little bit of time at the end of the night, sure, I might jump on a couple rides, but. Sam says, I bet the virtual queue is a response to the long lines for Guardians during the Epcot after hours and have time to do other stuff. Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, haven't we heard like some of the feedback on the Guardians during the after hours is the fact they aren't even running it at full capacity.
Yeah.
So it's I think if you want to go there for Christmas and experience it, I think that's what you're there for. But hey, if I went, maybe I would get a virtual queue for Rise, and if it timed out correctly, then hey, I'd go do it. But if not, I mean, if I'm paying this kind of money, I'm here for.
Yeah.
I want to experience, what's going on in the Tower of Terror courtyard. I want to experience whatever's going in the Brown Derby. I want to see Miss Piggy and Kermit.
Yeah.
If I'm paying for this, I'm definitely going to, even though I've seen Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam before, I'm going to go watch it because I paid to be at this party.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I think, and then the other thing, you don't get into the park until 7, so you only get into the park an hour and a half before the party starts, unlike, say, Very Merry Christmas Party, where you get in 3 hours before the party starts.
Yeah.
And I think the other negative is if you don't want to go to these things, then this is now another park that's going to close early. 10 nights during the holiday season. Albeit at least they were smart. None of these parties are running the same night as Very Merry Christmas Party. But who knows, if it sells well, they might add more nights,
Speaking of nights, here are the nights: November 11th, 18th, 20th, 27th, and 29th. December 4th, 6th, 16th, 18th, and the 20th. And tickets will be $159 to $179 per person. And it says if you're a guest of a select Walt Disney World Resort Hotel, Swan and Dolphin, Shades of Green, can purchase tickets starting June 29th. Tickets can be purchased by all guests starting July 6th. And they also announced some of the other rides that'll be open. It says Slinky Dog Dash, Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror will be open, obviously, for this party. And we'll get everything up on the website. It's been kind of a hectic evening for me. I haven't been able to get any articles up or anything, but we'll get all these details up for you to check out on the website. Disney also announced As we've mentioned, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is coming back. Not much new there. That was announced. They got the dates up here. Tickets will be from $159 to $199 for adults, and $149 to $189 per child, ages 3 to 9.
I still can't believe how expensive that thing is now.
Yeah, it's
wild.
gotten pretty pricey.
I mean,
Sam says no Christmas overlay for Rock and Roller Coasters. A shame.
Sad.
no Christmas overlay for
No
Guardians.
Christmas overlay. Yeah, if you want to call it an overlay, the song.
I mean, it didn't really work really well, but you know what? They could have come up with something else. I mean, it's not that complicated to put a new song. They could have just had a list of Christmas songs, which was what we all originally thought they were going to do.
Yeah,
that was my issue. It was one song.
Yeah. So
I would like to see a rotation of 3 or 4 holiday songs, and they could find something to come up with.
No, I mean you could easily, and even if you just went with rock ones, I mean you could Christmas wrapping. What is there's so many different ones or rock versions
Just
of classic
Run Rudolph.
Yeah, Run Rudolph. I mean, it just there's so many different you could do.
This is the other thing that was announced was we are not seeing the return of what are the Christmas lights called?
Dream lights.
Dream lights. Thank you. No dream lights this year. I'm guessing this kind of confirms that we're never going to see dream lights again.
Yeah.
It says this brand new quote Frozen inspired entertainment experience will illuminate the castle in a whole new way. It can be seen during regular park hours and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So basically the same thing as Dream
I
lights.
imagine it's going to be very similar to the show that they used to do. Now it's just going to be projections.
Yeah. It'll be icicles, but projection.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not putting stuff up anymore.
I think we've talked about this so many times on the show. It's just if you really want to experience Disney during the holidays, fly out to California. Mm-hmm. It's a much better experience, and you don't have to pay extra for it. And you can also go to Knott's Berry Farm, which has, I think, one of the best Christmas celebrations in the entire country. It sucks because we've all been here for years, and Orlando used to be so good with all the holiday stuff, and it just feels like we have fallen off. It's like SeaWorld's not as good as it used to be.
Nope.
Universal just keeps trotting out the same thing every year. And then Disney World in the last 10 years, we just keep losing stuff.
Yeah.
And not really getting it replaced. And,
it's funny, Sam mentioned this in the chat. He said, I will say I love the Dream Lights, but I hated coming once a year in October and having that crane castle for weeks. And I wonder if that's a big reason why they're not doing the Dream Lights anymore, because they had so many guest complaints about the crane that they had to use to put up the lights, and they tried their best to hide it. They kind of tucked it down,
crane.
but
I'm sure it also comes down to the fact that it doesn't it costs a lot less not to have the Dream Lights.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I know, God knows I say it every single time when it comes to people are like, why doesn't Disney World do this? And my answer is always money.
Money.
yeah.
That's why Disney World doesn't do it. Not to be negative. As negative as I may have been today about this new party, I will probably end up going one night. If a group of my friends decide they want to go, I'll probably go. We're all Muppets fans, so it's like we're all fingers crossed, hoping that this new show is going to be good.
Like you said, Barry, I think if you look at the angle from maybe getting a bunch of your adult friends and going to this thing, I think it'd be worth it. Not to say, parents are going to bring their kids to this.
They will.
But I think a good way to go to this would be to get a bunch of your friends, because it seems like there's going to be a lot more adult, I shouldn't say like adult theme, but adult oriented excuse me, like activities and stuff. So yeah.
Well, it feels very much more. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, Emily. It feels more like some of the specialty nights Disneyland does.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hope it's really good. That's my thing, because the price you're charging for it. You're charging for it just as expensive as Very Merry Christmas Party is.
Yeah.
You better deliver, especially since you're not offering any type of free snacks. It's like, at least maybe offer, some like the after hours events, at least maybe offer some drinks and some popcorn or something.
Yeah.
I think that's,
we don't know yet.
yeah, I mean, who knows? Because it seems like there's definitely been, some things are like, if you go on the main Disney World's website, you'll see some things. There'll be like more information to come when you click on the different things about the event. So fingers crossed that they will gauge reaction and see, hey, maybe you guys should. You guys are making cookies anyway for Very Merry Christmas Party. You might as well do it for this one too, instead of expecting us to buy a bunch of snacks.
I mean, they just come in a box. You just have to take them out of the box.
Dress to impress. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels very more aimed at the adults than kids.
But to wrap up all this Christmas stuff, because Christmas,
Is number 2.
Yeah, number 2 to what else was announced today. Let me scroll back on down here where we at. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. All the other Christmas stuff that was announced. The Merry Menagerie will be back at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Candlelight Procession will be back at Epcot November 24th through December 30th. Hollywood Studios will have Sunset Seasons greetings again.
Snore.
They have to have something that you're not paying for.
And then at Disney Springs, the Christmas tree stroll will be back, and Santa will be back at Disney Springs as well. And then I mentioned the new Frozen Castle show for Magic Kingdom. So, and I think that's about it for Christmas stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get all this stuff up on the website tonight, so you guys can go back and check it out and all that stuff. So, all right, let me get rid of that. Let's move on to
Bring the big boy.
Yeah. Probably
Emily writes.
Really, really strongly rumored.
For
The
years.
Last of Us was finally announced today for Halloween Horror Nights 2023 at both Hollywood and Orlando. We got a little teaser trailer of this chick playing the video game, and I was like, this girl is me playing The Last of Us. Just when you think you're used to the clickers, and she jumps out of her skin. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Guilty.
And then we got a tease of some symbol.
Which
It literally has never go
Look at
on.
this. I'm prepared.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
If I can find it here. There. Oh no! Wait, that's Elsa.
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally just never go alone.
they're still teasing this whole Legend of HHN thing. She's talking to her friends on the phone about it, and then her computer goes crazy, and then she starts seeing a bunch of clickers behind her. And
I know they say never go alone, but I show up there by myself all the time. I mean,
I know
And
we
he's
don't
fine.
listen.
and I managed to survive.
Yeah, don't go alone.
I'm just
Never
here
go
to
alone.
troll the HHN Twitter account now.
Yeah.
You and Travis.
Let me find.
So Emily, how does this make you feel? You've been waiting for this.
It's literally my dream house. And
Yeah.
it's actually based off the game and not the TV show.
No,
Oh my god.
no, it's not. Don't lie to me. I'm gonna go to
I
Twitter
mean-
right now, and we're gonna just debate this.
That's
I
fine.
totally will not be able to follow the story now.
That's fine because the game is actually better in my opinion. Anyway. No, like literally just like here, like number one, seeing the window because that's the loading screen. That made me happy. Just hearing clickers makes me anxious. Love that. Thank you. And then just hearing like the music at the end, it was like, ugh. Like, and it's like, I don't care what the commercial would have been. I don't care, like, just anything Last of Us related just makes me so happy. So,
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
I'm
Except
wondering-
for the fact, I do want to point out that the Twitter post says just Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
And James's theory is that they're going to try to push this out for multiple years like Walking Dead. which I'm okay with.
They could. They
I'm
definitely
okay
could.
with this.
I mean, you can
And I'm
just-
wondering when they said just Pittsburgh, I have an envision of this facade, the facade being like what, like the interstate,
Yeah.
and then maybe with forced perspective, like the city, build. You can see the crumbling buildings in the background, maybe.
See,
So
you
it's
have
your
that
sort of-
idea, and then my idea is literally walking into the truck being crushed through the gas
yeah.
station.
That would be cool too.
That's what I want. That's where my brain goes. Or just having like a whole big
It
thing
depends
that
on-
says Last of Us with like a bunch of like stores and
I feel like it depends on what they're going for with the facade. If they're going to go for like a giant
yeah.
facade, or if they're going to go for like more like you said, experiencing a certain moment from the game, and you go in through there.
Yeah, because technically in that area, if you want to count all of it, you start from crashing into the gas station to ending with Sam and Henry's death. So you have a lot of ground to cover if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, and I forgot, where was the rumor that this house is going? It's
Where Weekend was. So in
okay, yeah.
the bigger
So it's going in the
building.
parade. Yeah.
Parade
So
building,
they do
yeah.
have the ceiling to go up high
Mm-hmm.
on in that one, which they did on Hill House.
I'm gonna read this one little section of the description here. It says, as guests encounter the infected, runners, stalkers, and clickers, along with the hunters, which this bugs me because they don't mention bloaters.
Don't worry, there's bloaters in the basement scene. You're fine.
They will need to navigate the Pittsburgh quarantine zone, including iconic locations from the video game, not the TV show,
You tell them.
such as the creepy and desolate the Hotel Grand and a labyrinth of dark and dank tunnels
Yep.
in a desperate attempt to escape and survive. And then
Endure
they
and
have
survive. Come on.
some quotes from Naughty Dog co-president Neil Druckmann. Who is this from? This is from Laura Sauls. She's the assistant director for creative development and show direction at Universal Orlando. But yeah, no, The Last of Us. This was, I think this is a dream house for a lot of people, and it's great to see Halloween Horror Nights dabbling in video games more.
Yeah. And speaking of
Because it's
quotes,
perfect for it.
our friend Michael Aiello posted earlier today, what began as a tweet, then a Zoom call a couple of years ago.
yeah, I
Now the
saw that.
fantastic Bicoastal Entertainment team brings it to life. Thank you to Neil Druckmann for the friendship, the support, and for this amazing game and story. So this has been years in the. I mean, we've heard rumors about this for years now. This is something that they've been working on, trying to get for years, and originally we thought it was going to be last year.
We
But,
found
you
it's
know.
been coming every single year. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. It's like people, and now with the TV show, it's even bigger.
Yep.
And I think,
And it's
I
also
think-
the 10-year anniversary of the game, so it makes
yeah.
sense.
I think like you said, there are ways you can go on YouTube. You don't have to have played the game to understand what's going on, and we're talking about a house too. There will be as with any house now, there's very much story moments. But it's like, I don't think you have to, you can get the gist of what's going to happen when you go into this
I
house.
can't wait for all the triggers just to be Ellie,
Right?
Ellie.
No,
Yeah,
there's literally YouTube videos out there that's just every cutscene made into one video.
Yeah.
So you could watch that in a matter of what? I don't know how many hours that is. I think it's like a couple hours.
Yeah, but especially if you've never played the game and you're trying to get an idea of what Pittsburgh is, you really need to watch like the gameplay of it because you go
Yeah.
to so many locations that aren't included in cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and I think the watching the TV show and playing the game are two completely
Yeah.
emotionally different experiences. Like I get so much anxiety playing this game with clickers
Oh, yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas watching the show, I think they captured it really good in a couple of scenes in the TV show. But the video game, when you're like hiding behind like a cabinet and there's a group of like 3 or 4 clickers making their noises.
No, God,
and-
please.
No, I mean, and I think some people online who like tried to say, "Oh, it's another zombie house."
Then
Yeah.
don't go. It leaves more
Then
room for
don't then
me.
don't go. But secondly, the clickers, the monsters
They're
in The
little
Last of
mushroom
Us
babies.
are horrifying on a whole different level than zombies are.
Oh, the clickers are 1,000 times creepier than zombies.
Oh, they are disturbing in a way, and just in a whole different way.
That whole
than-
like twitching thing that they do with their arms,
Yeah.
and their heads,
No,
and their
no, thank you.
noise.
it's just
and-
it's so
no.
you know,
These things.
zombies for the most part move in a very human-like manner. The clickers move in like an animal-like, just disturbing type manner.
Yeah, like I said,
that
this
I
whole
just-
twitching thing that they do with their arms and their heads, and no,
and the sounds they make are just it's just disturbing on a different level. And
Yeah, no.
I think I imagine that this house is, this is unfortunate. Like I said, it's going to be one of the more popular houses, which means it's probably mean we're going to go into it a lot during the daylight, which means it's going to be very dark in there. And I have a feeling this there might be some times this house actually gets me coming this year. I would not be shocked. So
I really hope they play off. I don't know how they could do it in a haunted house, but I really hope there's at least maybe one or two parts in the house that builds on that suspense, because like I said, when you're playing the video game and you got those clickers behind you, I would love to see them somehow recreate that suspense in a haunted house. Like maybe you walk into a room and you see some clickers, like play with like mirrors or something. I don't know, but I would love to see in at least a couple of scenes, instead of clickers jumping out at me everywhere, give me some suspenseful moments where you see a clicker but you don't know where it is or something like that. I would love to see that.
The only thing that I want is like, I know it's hard to do. I would love like a noise activated room. And by that I mean like you put different things on the floor or things that people can brush against without realizing it. So if the room's completely silent and you step on one of the things, and like they can react. That's what I
That would
want.
be interesting. Yeah.
Because it's technically a guest activated trigger if like it's something on the ground.
see, that's the only thing I think would be very hard for them to pull off, is just at the times where
I know.
it's supposed to be like quiet.
Yeah.
And
We've done quiet houses before with like
That's
body
true.
collectors and stuff. Like you'll still hear things. Don't get me wrong; it's not 100%, but
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting. I would be interested to see how if they're able to pull off like Clint said, some suspense style scares that,
or
that
even
just-
if it's just like a quiet room and then like somebody hits the trigger and the trigger's like a bottle falling over and that's when they can come out. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would totally be up for some kind of suspenseful moments, because this show, like, I mean, you barely saw, not to talk about the TV show, but
Well, because it's not based on the TV show; it's based on the game.
yeah. Shush. But no, you see in the TV show, they executed the suspense so perfectly, and I would love to see that translated somehow into at least a couple scenes in the house. Build
I want
on
to
that.
bend down at some point and activate my listening mode.
Right. That would actually be fantastic. There's your trigger, Emily. They'll just have a button on the ground that's like a triangle or an
Mode,
X.
and then everything goes gray, and that's what I want.
That would actually be fantastic. There's like
I mean,
a
we
place.
had the game over room in Resident Evil, so
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
the pause screen.
yeah.
The pause screen.
Sorry, the
I
pause
remember
screen,
that. Yeah, I remember that. That's funny. But no, like I was saying at the beginning, when we started talking about this, it's great to see, and obviously Michael Aiello had a huge part in this, that they're dabbling in video games, because there's still so many video games that would make fantastic haunted house. Everybody talks about BioShock.
Oh yeah.
James's dream house.
A lot of people talk about. I've heard a lot of people mention Dead Space. Dead Space would be a good haunted house.
Outlast.
Yeah, that would be another one.
No, and especially considering now a certain segment of basically what was available to them before is gone. Like 20th Century Fox,
Yeah.
gone. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, or even
Rest in peace,
search
my alien house.
you know, Warner
Yeah.
Brothers, Warner stuff from Warner Brothers is hit and miss. You know, it all depends, and so they don't have as much of, like, you know, availability of stuff, and you know, they've dabbled in video games more with Resident Evil, with Silent Hill.
Oh God, I would love another Silent Hill house.
But you know, this hopefully, you know, they'll start you know, video games are huge. They're just as big as TV and movies now, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's not like, and this one gets a double whammy because you have the video game, but you also have the TV show. So it's
No, but it's also smart because people are going to come in no matter what now.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter what the reason is. And if they have this, and then if the rumor comes true that Stranger Things 4 is happening, that's
the year to get expressed.
That's that, you know, on top of Chucky, you know, Chucky's
baby
is a common thing, you know. I mean, you're not going to need much IP after that. So it's like, you know, you got your big guns there. So
Yeah, I think they're totally building off of. I mean, I would be very curious if this would have been. I mean, obviously, like with Aiello's tweet, they've been working on getting this for a while. And I think the TV show helped out a lot because that introduced The Last of Us to a whole nother audience.
Yeah.
That had never heard of I had several people that I knew watch the TV show and go, man, that was great. And I was like, oh, play the video game.
Well, that's what I did. One of my friends who's my coworker, he never played the game or anything like that. He watched the show, and then after he was like, can I come over and watch you play? And I was like, of course you can.
No,
give me
you're
an
not going
excuse to play this game again.
I would say, no, you're not going to watch me. You're going to play it.
I tried to do it a few times, and then he just handed me the controller back the second that he heard a clicker, and I was like, that's understandable.
Yeah, that's completely normal.
I made him do all the generators because I really suck at like timed events, and I was like, this is your contribution.
Oh, where you have to like hit the X in the little.
I can't do timed events at all.
Yeah.
I can shoot things all day long, but not timed events.
Yeah, yep. I hated those where you got to hit X or hit triangle right in the perfect little space, and nope.
Nope, that was Sean's job.
That's why I never played it, but what's that? This would be another video game, Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah. But see, I like Dead by Daylight because I like to play the killer because then I can win.
Yeah.
I don't like being the victim.
It was the Jason video game, Friday the 13th.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Evil Dead game. They all have the same mechanic.
You had to, in Friday the 13th, you had to pour the gas into the car, and you had to do the time thing like 3 times in order to get the car filled up with gas. If you screwed up once, you had to start.
And then you get the killer gets alerted too, and it sucks.
Yeah, if you screw up, then Jason gets alerted, and he's coming after you.
They have the same thing for Dead by Daylight. It's awful.
Yep. He would come after you, and if you screwed up putting the battery in or putting gas in the car, you were dead meat. So
see, Dead by Daylight would be fun though because they have like a lot of different like original villains that they could use in a house. That's also.
Did you see Nicolas Cage is coming to the game? They announced that Nicolas Cage is coming to it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's interesting. So,
I can't wait for Nicolas Cage to be in the house.
That would be actually fantastic.
So yeah, with I think with all this, you know, I think we'll start seeing more announcements because
yeah, this was the one we were waiting on.
This is sort of the one we've been waiting on, and of course, Hollywood got ticket information.
Yeah, I didn't have that in front of me. Do you have any details on that, Barry? Or here it is. They just basically announced a general admission express, the after 2 p.m. ticket, the new early access ticket, which will provide access to select haunted houses prior to the scheduled event opening starting at 5:30. The premium RIP tour. And popular passes, Frequent Fear and Ultimate Fear.
I guess the biggest news that came out is Super Nintendo World will not be open.
Well, yeah.
I saw Greg some Park Journey talking about that Super Nintendo World will not be part of the
No.
the early access ticket, right?
Right. If you do the 2 p.m. day night ticket, yes. It's basically closing, when the regular park closes. It will not be part of Halloween Horror Nights, which I guess has some people are not very happy about.
I mean, there's
Well, it
no
says
need.
right
Or I
here,
guess
right?
I get. Oh yeah, that's what it is. The after
The
2
same
p.
day. Yeah, the Halloween Horror Nights after 2 p.m. It says enjoy same day access to Super Nintendo World
Nintendo
from
World.
7 to 10 p.m.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know if it's not included with the regular ticket or I don't know.
It says they're going to
I
use
just work
Virtual
here.
Line
Yeah.
and they may use Virtual Line for Super Nintendo World. And that's all it says about that. Huh,
Maybe it will be open. I don't know. It's their ticket system is a little bit more. I feel like confusing because there's the early access thing and
It says right here, daytime admission to the park, access to Super Nintendo World during Halloween Horror Nights event is not included.
so only with the
So with the Halloween Horror Nights after 2 p.m. day/night ticket, you do get access to
So
Super
they're
Nintendo
limiting-
World from 7 to 10. With just the early access ticket, you get in at 5:30. You do not have access to Super Nintendo World.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I guess you have to buy the.
But do you get access to Nintendo World if you buy the Express Pass? Or
Yeah.
Probably not, but who knows?
I don't
I'm
see
assuming
why
if
it's
you buy the
Express.
VIP tour, you might get it.
Express to each haunted house ride, excluding Mario Kart
Including.
browser challenge. There you go. There's your answer.
Yeah.
And attraction express access. Daytime admission to the theme park is not included. Access to Super Nintendo World during Halloween Horror Nights is not included.
Wow. Even with the.
So there you go. Yep. So if you want to do Super Nintendo World and you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, this is your only bet right here. This Halloween Horror Nights after 2 p.m. Ticket. Which, I don't know how much that is. I'm curious. General admission.
Their Frequent Fear is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ultimate Fear is $329. Frequent Fear is $209 for Hollywood. Here's the after 2 p.m. ticket from $149.
Jesus.
So valid after 2 p.m. Daytime general admission to the park. Includes same-day access to Super Nintendo World from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Although that's the time you want to do Super Nintendo World. It's probably at night.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool looking at night.
Yeah.
The brief little bit we got to see it in the evening.
There are Hollywood's RIP tours, $379.
Starts at 370.
Stars at $379. Yeah. Yeah, their ultimate. They don't call it. They just call their. We call all of ours frequent fear passes.
Frequent Fear, yes.
This one's ultimate fear pass, which is interesting. So.
I'm good. It'll be interesting to see what ours are this year, and
Yeah.
I have no money.
I'm going to see if they. I know we've probably talked about if they're going to limit the amount of Frequent Fear with Express this year.
No, they want money. Doesn't matter.
Or it's going to be like $1,000.
Well, how much was the ultimate last year? Wasn't it?
The ultimate was 800 and something, I think.
800
last
and
year.
change. Yeah.
So
if they go just under $1,000, I wouldn't be surprised at all for the frequent fear pass, ultimate with Express, which is more money than I got. But hey.
Yeah, I don't know how some of those people.
I say every year I'm going to get the Express Pass, frequent fear pass, and then I end up not getting it. It's
this is the year I have to get it because I'm going to become a monster with this.
Oh, The Last of Us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder if this will be part of. Well, it should be part of Stay and Scream if it's going in the.
Yeah, it will
yeah.
be.
Yeah,
it will
so
be.
Emily's going to be bum rushing this every
I'm
single night.
so sorry about the person I'm going to become. No, I'm not. Just kidding.
Oh gosh. So, all right. I think that's it. Anything else? Anything anything more about The Last of Us before we kind of sort of wrap things up here? I know we wanted to talk about Spider-Verse really quick. We all saw
Spiders.
Spider-Verse.
If you didn't,
And
you shall leave because we're about to probably spoil it.
maybe.
It's kind of hard to talk about it without.
I absolutely loved it. I mean, I loved the first one. I just loved the animation. This thing was just nuts.
That's my problem.
Like, even if you don't like it, like, just appreciate the animation.
That's kind of the double-edged sword with me. I've only seen it once, and I drifted off in this movie so many times just admiring how beautiful the movie is. Like, I would get so sidetracked with just how gorgeous the movie is, and then I'd be like, oh, wait, I got to pay attention to the movie.
Well, just like, I mean, there are things like how the color of Gwen's background changed depending on her mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The fact that all the Spider men, women are animated. Like, I forgot how they described. Like, they're animated on the one. Miles is animated on the two, so he's sort of more choppy and a little out of sync. Mm-hmm. And then Spider-Punk is animated on the 3, so his feeling is completely different. Mm-hmm. The way he moves is completely different than everyone else in the movie. And just the steps just from the first movie to this movie, the steps in the animation, how they have really taken it to a whole new level that really starts to make some of the stuff that Disney, Pixar, Illumination, DreamWorks has I feel like upped their game with Bad Guys and Puss in Boots, Last Puss in Boots. But this style of animation that the styles, I should say, of animation they've created for the Spider-Verse movies is just on a completely different level. Loved the story, loved how they took like a pretty average villain, a not very well-known Spider-Man villain, but made him, he starts sort of as a joke, but then as the movie comes along, you just realize just how dark and messed up this villain is. And then at the same time, Miguel, aka Spider-Man 2099, sort of a villain too. So it's just it's so good, and it sucks that it was only on the big screen, the big screens for 1 week. The summer movie season is.
I have to say, I was kind of, I won't spoil it, but the end moment was kind of a weird way to end the movie for me.
Did people groan in your theater?
It was like
I had a bunch of teenagers that are like, "Oh my god!" and I was like, "It's not that hard of a twist to comprehend, but okay, buddy."
Well, I had a bunch of it was mixed emotions in my theater. Like, there were people screaming, and then when the movie cut and it was the end, it was like, oh, like it went from like this super high of, oh my god, there they are, and then the screen went to the credits, and that was the end of the movie. I think it was such a huge moment. I think people were expecting the movie to go on for another.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have the huge moment, then you had the big reveal right before that of
those
Miles.
Characters. Let's just say those characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's I mean, we as in, fans in general, those of us in the know, we knew this story was going to be told over 2 movies. I'm going to be interested to see if the third movie does actually come out in March of next year, because
we'll see.
I have a feeling it's going to be pushed back, because there's been some talk that they had, some of the characters haven't even recorded lines yet. So I will be interested to see if that thing still happens March of next year. It's going to suck, because it's already looking like, we've already seen with the writer's strike and then the backup and visual effects, Disney just moved a bunch of stuff.
Disney announced a bunch of pushbacks and delays.
The fact that we now have to wait till 26 for an Avengers movie. So basically 7 years.
I think I'm okay though, because I'm very Marvel fatigued.
Well, I think that's where I feel like Feige is screwed up. The fact that we previously we had 4 Avengers movies in 7 years. Now it's going to take 7 years to get to an Avengers movie. I think that's one of the flaws that's been with this post Endgame era is the fact that we're just taking way too long to get to a major event.
Yeah.
And just even though I will say everything I've seen for Secret Invasion that starts next week so far actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So and Guardians 3 was amazing. I absolutely
Still
love
haven't
that
seen it.
movie.
Okay.
Love
the
it.
other news that came out of this, out of all these movie pushbacks, was Star Wars. There's going to be 2 Star
Shock.
Wars movies in 2026, which blew
I-
my mind because wasn't there a crap ton of discussion that releasing 2 Star Wars movies in the same year was a bad idea, and here we are right back to doing it?
I don't think it's
No.
gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think there's going to end up being
Yeah.
2. I think it's just a placeholder for right now. I think the more shocking thing to me is the recent announcement that Inside Out 2 is coming out June 14th of next year. So for a 3rd year in a row, they're going to try with this June release date that last year screwed them. Looking like this year is going to screw them, even though everyone I know who's seen Elemental says it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
But you're releasing the same week as, The Flash is coming out too. And just you're releasing in a crowded marketplace, and you just had Little Mermaid come out a few weeks ago.
There's a lot of movies. You got Transformers out
It's just-
now. It's a packed movie theater right now.
I think the next Pixar movie was it Elio. I think they're smart having that come out in the spring because there's going to
Yeah.
be less competition, and I don't understand. They just don't want to give up this June release date, and it's just I think Inside Out 2 obviously will do better than any of the original movies will, but it's like you're facing tough competition,
Yeah.
and I just don't understand why they just will not give it up, and I mean, I hope we'll see what happens with Elemental as far as how well it does, and if they stick to their guns and keep. I think they got to keep to these 90-day windows to get people to understand that we're not going to all of a sudden change our mind and dump it on Disney Plus in 30 days. I think that's why they've screwed themselves and gotten to the point where they are now.
Yeah.
But if Wish doesn't do well, they've really got a problem. When it
Yeah.
comes to animation at Disney, they're really, I think Disney Plus has really caused a lot of problems for Disney animation. So
What else came out of that announcement? Deadpool was pushed up from November 8th to May 3rd, 2024.
I think probably one of the reasons that guy was able to be pushed up. I have a feeling the special effects in Deadpool is not as intense as some of the other
Yeah.
Marvel films, and so it's great we're getting Deadpool closer, but it just sucks that the Avengers films have been pushed back, and
Yeah, and then you said
Yeah,
Barry
but it's all
King.
just lead up.
yeah, and I think for all intents and purposes, it looks like in the next few weeks, possibly we're gonna find out who the Fantastic Four is. So
Not John Krasinski.
yeah,
Yeah. The Disney live action Moana got a release date of June 27th, 2025. What about this new name for the Captain America movie? Captain America Brave New World.
Well, they keep changing it. They changed Agatha's name.
Well, New World Order sort of has some bad connotations
Yeah.
to it. There's it's been the New World Order has been used by some not great people in
Yeah.
different times. So I understood why.
Damn you,
they're
Hulk
still
Hogan.
I'm not talking about the NWO. I'm talking about
I know.
more like extremist groups.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
But
no,
it's all Hulk Hogan's fault.
I think like I said, a lot of this has to do with shock surprise Avatar got pushed back. I don't think anybody's surprised about that.
Yeah, Avatar 5 will be coming out in December 2031. I'll be 2021, so what, 10 years? I'll be almost
Old.
50? 40?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You'll be old.
I'll be old. we'll all be old by the time the final Avatar comes out. So
So I mean, it you know, I that doesn't surprise me. It's apparently they've maybe only filmed. I don't even think they filmed all of Avatar 3 yet. There, last time I saw something, maybe it was 50% shot. And then
which
the
is
amount
funny
of,
because I thought Cameron shot the second he filmed. I thought he said he filmed the second and the third one at the same time or something.
I think some of the stuff with the younger actors, a lot of that has been shot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things. You got to remember the Avatar movies, like their visual effects lead up is like I from what I've read with the last one, it's like 2 years at least
Yeah.
for them to do the visual effects. Which I mean, if you watch the movie in the theater, you saw why, because it looked better than pretty much any film
Yeah.
I've ever seen. So, but yeah, I'll just be amazed when we finally get another Star Wars film. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I expect you know, some of it has to do with timing with the one that will wrap up the whole Mandalorian, Ahsoka stuff that we know. I know we'll get that one. I don't think that one's about as guaranteed as any Star Wars film. But yeah, I think that depends on wrapping up all the TV shows too, and when those finish, which that's now been delayed because you know they can't really do anything right now because of the writer's strike.
Like you said, though, there's people that watch the reviews for the first few episodes of Secret Invasion came out, and it seems like the chatter was pretty good about it. So I'm excited to check that out.
Which is good because it's funny with Elemental and I think Indiana Jones. It's like debuting them at Cannes really backfired because they got a lot of negative reviews there, but then now, as more people have watched Elemental and Indiana Jones, the positive reviews have started. They've gotten a lot more positive reviews. I think Disney's really. I hope it doesn't, because I'm still excited to see Indiana Jones. I mean, so
Well, I saw a few people that saw it today said it's good. You know, it started off kind of shaky with the early reviews, but
it's France. It's France. It's Cannes Film Festival. It's. I don't know why they thought that they were going to get a good reception there. So it's same thing. Elemental's reviews have been really good now. So I'm excited to see it. I pretty much see every Pixar film in the movie theater because they are usually very beautiful films. So
as long as I get to see Indy punch some Nazis, I'm good.
Yeah. That's all we were. That's what we're here for.
So
just stand outside of 535.
Right outside of So all right, crew. I think that's it. I think we can wrap it up and get on out of here.
We did it.
If
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
we did it.
get
Wow,
tangled
Pico
up
did
first.
it too.
She's done. She's
This
out
is
of here.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Little baby.
Yeah.
Puppy dog.
All right. Well,
I have
let's.
no idea where Coca is, so.
We are at ThrillGeek on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok. Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page. YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, ThrillGeek.com, for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. You can catch us on Twitch, and you can continue the conversation on our Discord channel.
Yeah, speaking of Discord, I don't know who's watching this, but I'm actually going to reach out to a few people. If anybody would be interested in being a kind of a Discord moderator, reach out to me somehow. The Discord's kind of sitting there rotting right now. It's too much for me to manage.
Same.
So if you or anybody you know would like to kind of
Travis.
I know I know Travis has mentioned, but I mean, how much free time does he have? Let's be real here.
I feel like he'd devote more time if he could.
So, well, I can talk with him more as well. But if I could find, maybe just one or two people to kind of moderate and run the ship that is the Discord, because I want it to be successful. I think it's a good platform for us to use. We just need to use it. So if you're interested, reach out to me somehow, email me. DM me on Twitter. I don't care. You can email me with the ThrillGeek email, my personal email. I don't care. But yeah, Emily, any plugging you want to do before we get on out of here? Twitter, Facebook?
I don't know. Geek Notice. Just follow me if you want to. It's just going to be me screaming about The Last of Us.
There you go.
So.
That's all we need. So as far as moi, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I am CG83, so follow me there. And like Barry said, follow ThrillGeek on all of our socials, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/ThrillGeek. Make sure you're following us here on our Twitch so you don't miss any of our ThrillGeek This Week live streams, which hopefully we'll be back to a more regular schedule now after our hiatus.
Hold Horror Nights hostage.
Yeah. Well, like Barry said, I hope we're rocking and rolling now with the Halloween Horror Nights announcements. Hey, Sam, just made it at the end. Yeah, we're wrapping up here. Getting on out of here. So, anyways, guys, take care. Be safe. I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to mention. Usually there is. Usually I end that live stream and I go, oh, wait, I wanted to mention this, but I can't think of it.
There's more.
Anyways.
That's it.
Good night, guys. Be safe. Take care. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
See you in the parks.
Bye.
In the fog.
Never go alone.